Well, we've been on the go for about 25 minutes now, and that's the village of Famorca where we started. It's a lovely, bright, clear day, nippy, but at least the views are very, very sharp. We're heading up to Malla de Llop, and you can just make out those white blobs. They're the waterhouses, which more or less show which way we're going up. That's the water supply for the village coming down from the font at the top. We're just going over the lip there into a basin below Malla de Llop summit, which you can't see from here. Well, we've reached our first objective, which is this Nevera, or ice house, which is in the basin that I mentioned earlier on, below the ridge and summit of Malla de Llop. And that's looking eastward towards the Canal, which is where we'll eventually be heading when we descend from the ridge. I can hear some goats somewhere, but I can't see them. And that's the little waterhouse in front of us where the font is, where the water supply for the village starts. But we're heading up that way to the col, where we'll get access to the ridge, which is above us. Still can't see the summit that we're heading for, but it's up that way somewhere. Well, we're up onto the ridge proper now, and we've just got our first view over the other side into the Guadalest Valley. That's our route ahead. You can't quite make out the summit, but it's the little bump in the furthest distance. And if I come over to this side, you'll be able to make out the village of Famorca, where we started. You can't quite make out the col. It's just hidden a little bit, but that's where we've headed from.
Well, that's Janet at the summit. At last, 2.5 hours of hard climbing. We're 2,500 feet ascent we've done thus far, and downhill subsequently, but spectacular views, cold wind. More later.
Well, we've had a nice sheltered spot for lunch just below the trig point up there, so we were out of the wind, which is quite fresh today, but I'm not complaining. So we head along the ridge a bit further and then down the other side and into the canal. There are some clouds gathering now, but it's still okay at the moment. There's Guadalest down below us. And the valley all the way up. And then we've got a lovely view of the Serrallas with Pla de la Casa on the right edge, the summit. Right, enough of a break, on we go. Well, it's been a long drag down through the canal, and we're just climbing out now to cross back over to the other side of the ridge. Quite a long way. We've had a few clouds, but the sun's just come out again. There's Guadalest down there and out to the coast. And I think that's our way up to the top there.